Ethan asks, common advice to avoid falling into sin with pornography or other individual sexual sin is to know what triggers you and avoid it. What if you can't figure it out? Or what if you can figure it out and you're so weak in your sinful nature that it's something as simple as being alone that is literally unavoidable? Additionally, what do you do if you can recognize warning signs in advance and aren't strong enough to avoid them? And then he says, asking for a friend. So I love the sense of humor. First of all, when we talk about triggers, we're talking about things, right? They might be images or objects or instances which lead us down the path of pornography. They themselves may not be sexual in nature, like being alone, for example, or perhaps buying a laptop that doesn't yet have covenant eyes on it. These things can be triggers. So what he's saying is absolutely important. We need to know our triggers. What are your triggers? Well, first of all, usually in order to be triggered by something, we have to be in a compromised emotional state. So if I'm feeling great, like I'm kind of happy, I've slept well, I've got good relations with the people closest to me, I have a sense of purpose. If I'm in that sort of emotional state, triggers are unlikely to do just that, trigger me. It's usually when I'm bored, stressed out, aggravated, tired, lonely. That's usually when triggers are most effective. One thing I would recommend that you do when you encounter a trigger is to say out loud, trigger. Why? Because this activates the sort of more rational part of our brain, as opposed to the feeling part of our brain. And in activating it, wakes us up in a sense of that slow drift towards sin. I would recommend that if you can't figure out what your triggers are or how to avoid them, that you seriously consider speaking to a certified sex addiction therapist, or CSAT. You can look up CSATs or certified sex addiction therapists in my area, because they're going to help you get to the root of this in a way that you may not be able to.